Containing what some are calling the Greek debt contagion has been a high priority for German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Here to tell us how the country can move forward and whether it should even shoulder this debt, German banking executive Stefan Heilmann. We're talking about the prospect of Germany playing a large role in shouldering this debt. Do you think that is even a wise move?
I don't think it's a real choice. First of all, I believe that the euro as it is today and also the union needs to stay in place, including Greece and anybody else on board. Everything needs to be done to protect that.
It sounds like you accept that there are certain inevitabilities in terms of Germany's role in restructuring and moving forward from sluggish economic times. Are you at all worried about overexposure of your economy to the situation in Greece?
Well, absolutely. I think, somebody has to pay the bill of overspending a long time, whether it's Greece, whether it's Europe. You have to treat this more entrepreneurial. Once you provide debt, whether that's to Greece or anybody else, and you can repay, I think that's a restructuring case. It's a quid pro quo to basically give the European Union enough certainty that you actually will be able in the future to come up for all your obligations. And that means restructuring measures. And I think that's something what the Greece will have to demonstrate to the Europeans, to the Germans, to all the taxpayers, actually to you and me, well, that's convincing. If that's the case, I think the Germans should support, the Europeans should support that. And I think that's the process going on for the moment. I think there are too much extremes in the negotiations. You're not saying, I'm bailing out, I'm not doing this, I'm ending a pact. I think that's not going to take us anywhere. So I think we have to go back on the table, sit down constructively. What are the measures to be taken to restructure and help the Greek government and in particular the population and economy to go forward?
Greece's left-leaning finance minister is already putting out some innovative solutions to the situation in his country. They don't necessarily include a Troika method, which is what you seem to be suggesting. Do you think that your country's finance minister should hold hard to the idea of indeed encapsulating all of these entities in any sort of long-term solution?
Well, I'm not implying that I'm a pro for the Troika. I'm not also agreeing that the finance minister has a solution because he hasn't presented one yet. He has told us a lot what he won't accept.
And lots of emotion behind.
And a lot of emotion. So I don't really know what the plan is of the Greek government.
None, right?
So I have no idea. So it's hard to discuss that. It's probably a wise idea to rethink the people to be involved in the restructuring process. So I'd rather say it's a good idea to break up the Troika and rethink what are the most efficient bodies and people involving in that process.
Of course, you are a banking executive. How do you advise your clients to deal with the prospect of being a lender to one of the most destabilized countries in the European Union?
Take a summer vacation in Greece, for starter.
Right.
So that's probably something which I would advise. I'm a banking executive for internet and technology. So it's very asset-light industries and a very booming market. My clients are not really impacted as big as you would be in energy, manufacturing, whatsoever. I've never been asked the question, what's the impact of my internet, my technology business because of Greece, because of the European Union? Interesting enough, the US investors ask me very often, what's the impact on the euro? What's the impact on currency? What will be the impact in the future? Do you think there will be a North and South euro? Stuff like this. Seems that we're here in Europe, we're waiting and see what the solutions, and the first solution will be that the Greeks come up with an idea.
And if you could speak directly to your country's finance minister, what would you tell him to do in the days and months to come?
Keep a hard line on not letting Greece bail out of their obligations unless they prove a very constructive way of bringing the country forward again on a growth path. Not on a savings path, but on a growth path.